Oh, hi. Didn't see ya. David Lockerat's here with FindMyMusicTeacher.com. I got this pool table here and hoping that it will help out with my blues credibility. Being from Boston, I don't necessarily have the greatest blues cred ever, but, you know, I was at least born in St. Louis, so it's not a completely hopeless cause. Anyways, in this video I'm going to talk about a few different kinds of blues progressions and how you can play them and learn from them. And feel free to email me if you're interested in finding out more. Got plenty of tabs, chord progressions, all kinds of cool stuff. Yours for the asking. Before I get started too, I also need to mention that I actually got a Wii video game today, and I could be playing that, but I'm here with you instead, making this video because I love you and I want you to be better blues players. Because hey, not everyone watching this was born in an iron shack in the Mississippi backwater. So without further ado, let's get to the first example, which is going to be a simple 12-bar blues in E. Now in blues, as in other styles, we talk about the 1, the 4, and the 5 chords. Your 1 chord is whatever key you're in, E. Now the key of E, if you walk up the scale, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, you get to the 4th step, being A, becomes our 4 chord, and the 5th step, B, is the 5 chord. So when people talk about a 1, 4, 5, that's what it means. Now typically in a 12-bar blues, you'll start on your 1 chord. On the 5th measure, you will go to the 4 chord. It's going to sound like this. 2, 3, 4. 3, and there's your 4 chord. 2 measures and back to 1. And I'll go to 5, 4, 1, 5, and so forth. Now, a common variation is the so-called quick 4, which means that in the 2nd measure you jump up to the 4 chord and then go back to the 1 chord. That might sound something like this. So forth. So when people talk about a 1, 4, 5 or the quick 4, that's what they mean. Now, a common variation is the so-called Chicago style blues, and the most common way of doing this is instead of going 5, 4, 1 for your turnaround to go 2, 5, 1 for the turnaround. Now for variety, I'm going to play this in the key of A, which means my 4 chord is D, and my 5 chord is E, and my 2 chord is B minor. So here's how that might sound. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, flat 3, 2, 5, 1. So that's a typical Chicago style blues. As with the other kinds, there are several different variations, but this just gives you some ideas. Now in jazz, we take that 2, 5, 1 concept and we extend it a little bit. Typically speaking, you might do a 2, 5, 1 to get down to your 4 chord. And I'm going to play this next blues in the key of F. This is kind of a bebop style blues, kind of the type of thing Charlie Parker, Miles, Sonny Rollins, any of those dudes might have played. There are lots of examples from their repertoires. And I'm going to play in the key of F. So F is my 1 chord, B flat is my 4, C is going to be my 5. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go C minor, F, B flat, to get to that B flat chord in the 5th measure. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flat 3, flat 6, 5, and back to 1. So there's different kinds of turnarounds you could do. That's a common example. And you can take that even a step farther. There's a Parker song called Blues by Alice, or Blues for Alice, I should say, that basically takes that same concept and extends it a little bit. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's an example of a pretty involved bebop style blues. Now the last kind I'm going to talk about is the minor blues, which is basically, well, pretty much what it sounds like, a blues where the chords are minor instead of being dominant seventh or major seventh or sixth or what have you. And a common example of this is John Coltrane's Blue Train. And I'd like to dedicate this to my good friends Gustavo and Paul, and they know why. And Blue Train sounds like this. So that's an example of a C minor blues. So those are a few different blues progressions. Hope you enjoyed them, and I hope it inspires you to go out and learn more about these different styles, because just as rock, country, classical music are very diverse styles, so is the blues. And feel free, as I was saying, to email me, david@findmymusicteacher.com, if you'd like to learn more, see some more examples, and there you go. So go out and play some blues, and I'm going to go play my Wii.